Hi ladies and gentlemen, I am going to do a review problem on page 535 on how to do line plots. The question says Lillian needs to buy beads for a necklace. The beads are sold by mass. She sketches a design to determine what beads are needed, and then she writes down the sizes. The sizes are shown below. So right here I recorded all of the different data, all the different sizes that she has. I then took this data and I plotted my points onto my line plot right here. So as you can see, I have 3 X's because there's 3 1/5. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2/5. There's 3 3/5 and 2 4/5. So the first step is to go through and add up how many you have of each one. So I'm going to start with my 1/5 and I'm going to figure out what is the combined mass of this. So if I have 1/5, 2/5, 3/5. So I have 3/5. Now I'm going to go to 2/5. Each of these X's are worth 2/5. So you're doing 2/5 plus 2/5 plus 2/5 plus 2/5 plus 2/5. So I'm going to do 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So I have 10/5. You can keep it that way, or if you want, you can simplify, and that equals 2. Now I'm going to figure out how many 3/5 I have. So I'm going to do 3/5 plus 3/5 plus 3/5. 3, 6, 9. 9/5. Once again, you can keep it this way, or you can simplify to 1 and 4/5. And I circle it up on top. Now I'm going to do my combined weight for 4/5. 4/5 plus 4/5 is 8/5. You can simplify, or you can leave the fraction the same. 5 and 3/5. I'm sorry, that equals 1 and 3/5. Okay, so now I'm going to take my combined mass for all these fractions and I'm going to fill it in on my chart. Combined mass of 1/5 beads is 3/5. The combined mass of 2/5 beads is 10/5, which is simplified to 2. The combined mass of 3/5 beads is 9/5, which is simplified to 1 and 4/5. And then I am going to do the combined mass of 4/5 beads, which equals 8/5, which then is simplified to 1 and 3/5. So this is the mass of each of the different sizes up here for my line plots. In order to figure out the average of something, I need to figure out the total. So I have to figure out the total mass of all these beads. In order to figure out the total mass of all these beads, I need to add up all of these numbers together. So I'm going to first start with my fractions. 3/5 plus 4/5 is 4, 5, 6, 7, 7/5 plus 3/5, 7/5, 8/5, 9/5, 10/5. So I get 10/5 as a fraction. And then I add up my whole numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you should get 4 and 10/5 as your total mass. So when we added up all those numbers, I got 4 and 10/5, which is then simplified. 5 can go into 10 2 whole times. So I should get 6 as an answer. So the total mass of all of the beads is 6 grams. I'm going to label that right here for you. Sorry about that. Okay, so when I figure out the average of something, so let's say I'm figuring out the average of your grades. I'm going to add up all your grades, and then I divide by however many grades you have. So if I'm going to figure out the average of this problem, I'm going to add up all of these numbers, which I just did, and I got 6 grams. Then I'm going to divide by how many X's I had. So I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So I'm going to do 6 divided by 13. Think of our division as a fraction bar. So that's going to become 6 over 13. Okay. So once again, when I did this, I took my data and I plotted it onto my line graph. After I plotted all my X's onto my line graph, I added up each of these different data points. And that's where I got all of this information. Then I added that all up. I figured out what was the total mass of all of the beets. After I added them all up, I got 6 grams. So then when we figure out the average something, you take the total and you divide it by however many x's you have. So I did 6 divided by 13 equals 6 over 13. Okay. If you have any other questions, please let me know, and I'll be more than happy to do another problem for you.